Welcome. In this video we're checking out Monster Truck. It's a project file and not a content pack. It has a folder size of about 240 megabytes and the price is about $30. It also has a sketch FAB so you can look at it yourself. Checking the level, there is nothing, but when you press play it does spawn the blueprint and has a working controller. You can open the doors. Basically I had to rebind the inputs because like I said, it's a separate project and it's not using enhanced input, although I'm using 5.2. Comparing the scale, you can see it's very small compared to the mannequin, so the correct scale would be around 1.5. Looking at the folder structure, from the blueprint folder we have the pawn blueprint and the animation blueprint, then the map, materials, meshes, and lastly textures. Looking at the texture dimensions, there are 13 4K textures. Some of them do have alpha channel. The compression should be DXT1 because of the size that you save, and also these imperfections should be packed into one texture to save more space. The base color also had alpha channel, and this is the ambient occlusion, roughness, metallic packed into one texture. Looking at the physics asset, it has just basic collision setup, and the meshes, there is no LOD. The vertex is around 150,000. These are the material slots, and these are the bones. Only the wheels, the doors, and the steering wheel are rigged, while the suspensions and the rear door are not. Getting closer look at the model, the details are really good. The interior is a bit of a glossy mess for this skin because there are multiple skins included. The underneath is well modeled. This is the lighting only view mode. The wireframe. One thing about this mirror, you can see that there is a sim there, and that's actually because of the normal. You have to go into the mesh and untick the recompute normal, and then that gets fixed. Looking at the UVs, they're well packed, no wasted space. Some parts are reused, like the wheels. However, for this one, yeah, that could have been separated into half, and that part is not. This the underneath, some of the parts are. However, for all of the you can actually combine the different material slots because they are based on just one texture and one UV, so you can actually do that to save draw calls. Looking at the different skins, there are, for each skin there are dusty types and one with blood. This is the second one. The interior for this one is actually looking really good. This is the third type. So yeah, it's pretty cool that these skins are included. And this is the dusty versions and the bloody one. This error occurred because I changed the type of the texture from grayscale compression to DXT1, so I have to change the sampler type here as well. The problem is that there are no material instance and lots of master material. Personally, I think one master material would have been actually two master material, one for translucency and the other for normal type, should have been more than enough. And just using the parameters to control whether it has bloody or dusty versions on them. However, that's not the case. Looking at the windows or translucent part, it uses the alpha texture of base color for the opacity. Now this could have been you can actually, this is one other way for you to do it. You don't even need the texture for this. In fact, then you can compress the base color textures without alpha, and that further reduces the size of it. Overall, I think it looks good. The texturing is good. The different skins that are provided is a good amount. The UV packing is good. There's no wasted space. Some parts of the UVs are reused, which is good. Some others obviously are not. There it uses the mask for imperfection. This is really nice to control, especially if you plan to use it with substrate. However, that falls short when you consider that the imperfections are not packed into one texture, and neither the material is instant to allow for that, and the scalars, vectors, and samplers are not changed to parameters to be exposed. And while I'm at it, the compression for the mask or imperfections should be changed to save more space, and the alpha channel for the base color is also unnecessary in my opinion. As for material slot, I think 2 is more than enough. One for the translucent part or the windows, another for the body. Anything more than that is just a waste of draw calls. Probably made this way for easy customization. As for scale, like I showed, it's not correct compared to the mannequin. Also, the suspension and the rear door are not rigged. This is a project. It should have been a content pack, especially for those versions that support the enhanced input. So I don't waste more time, or no one wastes their time rebinding the inputs. And lastly, there is no way to make the exterior lights emissive. Now that we have reached the end of the video, hope you enjoyed.